can say he changed? How many of you can say the Quran changed your life? What did it do? What has the Quran done? Tell me a verse, one verse in the Quran that has changed your life. But our Lord Jesus Christ said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. As my friend was saying, they are spirit and they are life. The words that Jesus Christ speaks are spirit. And there are many people in this world who are spiritually dead. They are dead in their sin. And the majority of this world is like a graveyard. You are dead in your trespasses and sins. Jesus said, you call me Master and Lord. You call me Master and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. That's what it's not Islam. It's not subjugation, submission to the Word of God. And Jesus Christ came into this world and submitted himself to every ordinance of man. He did everything that the Father required of man under the law of Moses. He had to do that to present a perfect obedience to God. If he had never become man, we would never have a perfect obedience. And that's why he had to become, in all points, like we are, yet without sin, that he might live that obedient life, which Adam failed to do. Our first father, Adam, he failed. He disobeyed God. That's why death came. Because by one man, sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed on all men, for all have sinned. So by one man, Adam, sin entered into the world, and death by sin. So by one man, Jesus Christ, came righteousness and eternal life, resurrection from the dead. That's why it was necessary for Jesus Christ to be made in all points like we are, and yet without sin. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a perfect obedience, because every one of us have broken the holy law of God. We're all guilty. We're all guilty. We've all come short of the glory of God. There is none righteous, no, not one. And that is why we need a perfect obedience. And we only find that in the Son of Man, Jesus Christ. We only find a perfect obedience, a perfect worship of the Father in Jesus Christ. He is the only one who loved God with all his heart, with all his mind, with all his soul, and with all his strength. He is the only one who loved his neighbor as himself by raising the dead, by healing the lepers, by causing the blind to see and the deaf to hear. Jesus Christ is the only one who ever loved God perfectly and loved his neighbor as himself perfectly. That is why we have a perfect obedience in Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
In ourselves, we are wretched. In ourselves, we are fallen. In ourselves, we are subject to death. But in Jesus Christ, we have the resurrection from the dead and the life everlasting. Because Jesus Christ did what Adam failed to do. Adam sinned, death came. Jesus Christ never sinned. Eternal life came through him who came from above. Jesus Christ is the one from above. John the Baptist said, he that is from above is above all, and no man understands him. So Jesus Christ can only be known by God's revelation to you. Only if you have the revelation of God to you will you understand who Jesus Christ is. And that is why our Lord Jesus Christ said, no man knows the Son but the Father, neither knows any man the Son of God except the Father. Neither does any man know God the Father except the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. And That is what Jesus Christ came to do. He came to reveal God to us. And we are so glad that that revelation of God has been given to us in the person of his Son. He that has the Son of God has everlasting life. And he that does not have the Son of God will not see life, but the wrath of God abides upon him. That is why Christ Jesus came. He came to taste death for every man. It was only as man that death could be taken out of the equation. Only in death, only by the overcoming of death, could death sting, could death be taken away. And we see the death of death in God. The death of death.
Do what they want to do. That's it.
By the Spirit of God that dwells in us, that's what makes the difference. And it was this book that put a thing that matters. Changed my life.
You want that? Yeah, the first sentence or so was very... If you...
We have a little wonder, we'll let Sarah know what she's doing. I would invite you to come for a drink, but obviously you don't drink. So it's one of my last things I'm trying to share. I think it's alright as long as you don't get drunk. Hey, hello, brother. Yeah, you're right, brother. It's been a while. We'll go feed the ducks. She wants to feed the ducks.
Oh, where have you been hiding for so long?
We've
been gone for 6 months.
We've had lots of illnesses, it's been back to support.
Oh, yeah,
When you have more than one choice, you eliminate the impossible wisdom. Everybody will score at what time, at what period. But you stop short of when they will actually do it. Am I supposed to believe that you don't have the knowledge of when it will occur, given that you gave to the whole back and destroy it first? Exhaust your things and go. Exhaust your things. You can understand people who are reacting to and the job of the God makes you free, the things surrounding that. For example, you understand your plan to be able to
It's a business. And what is business? It's in the business of making money. That's what the Abrahamic religion was designed to do. The Abrahamic religions was designed by man and woman to justify the most horrific crimes, the repression of humanity, the genocides that happen in our society. The Abrahamic religions was never built for you to worship God. It was built for you to despise people that believe in God. Despise people that believe in God. and then kill, repress, and hate those people that believe in God. That's what the Abrahamic religion is designed to do. World War II, Gaza, every single war for the last 2,500 years was done in the name of God, while the rich who own these Abrahamic religions stand around making all the money in the world while you're running around justifying hatred, justifying rape, and justifying genocide, just like Hitler did, just like Gaza is. Gaza, Hitler, the French wars, the 100-Year War, Napoleon, all these wars and all the ones that came before it was done because they were done under the they were done and designed in the Abrahamic religions, who justify the dehumanization of humanity. They justify it constantly, saying you being a human being, having feelings, thoughts, being independent, being creative, being loving, caring to each other. They monopolize that, they privatize that, and then they pervert that into justifying you hating Jewish people, you hating Muslim people, you hating Christians. That's what World War II was about. That's what World War I was about. It was about creating a Christian empire in Europe and murdering everything and everyone that stood in the way, including the majority of Christians in Europe, the majority of Jews in Europe. That is what happened under the Abrahamic leadership. The Pope loved Hitler. The Pope loved Hitler because he was going to bring about bring about the third Christian empire into Europe. And he calls that the Third Reich. This is the Abrahamic dream. It's committing mass murder, stealing your land, your humanity, your wealth. Does that mean Christians are bad? No. Does that mean Muslims are bad? No. Does that mean Jewish people are bad? No. But there's one fundamental truth occupied by literally almost every single Jewish, Muslim and Christian Jew. That fundamental truth is you were born into that religion. You were told your religion's the superior religion, and therefore any crime that you commit under that religion is holy. Forget about human rights. Forget about that voice in your heart saying killing is wrong. Forget about that voice in your heart saying rape is wrong. Forget that voice in your heart, and you change and you replace that voice in your heart with the God that we tell you to believe in from the ground up. From the ground up. The moment you were born, you were told which was the right God. And if you believe the wrong one, the punishment is death, repression, and hatred. And if you even believe in the right one, the punishment will be death and repression, unless you're at the very top of the Abrahamic religions. And then you get to spend all the money, the trillions of pounds, which these Abrahamic businesses create. Never forget, these Abrahamic religions are a business, and they're in the business of maximizing profit and wealth. Maximizing profit and wealth, which is why these weapon companies are owned by the Abrahamic religions, which is why the oil companies are owned by the Abrahamic religions. Christian fundamentalists, they own the weapon companies, and oh boy, do they love making weapons for you lot to murder each other under the God that they designed for you to worship. The Abrahamic religions.
The Abrahamic religions make weapons of mass destruction.
Christian fundamentalists own the oil companies. Oh, but they are. It's only because you denied it. They call themselves Christians. They give money to the Christian church. The only reason why the Christian church has any money is because of the weapon sales that these businesses make, the oil sales. And yet the truth is, the people that you worship, they love genocide. They love genocide. The business, Christianity, the Abrahamic religions are a business. Christianity is a business. And they they design and build fundamentalists to justify murder and rapists. And then Christian fundamentalists commit wars and genocide in Gaza underneath this guise of the Abrahamic religion. The Gaza war is an Abrahamic war. Why? Because that's how you make lots of money. That's how you make money. And that's how you create Christian fundamentalists. That, like this man here, like this Christian fundamentalist here, that will turn a blind eye to genocide. Turn a blind eye to genocide. Because the Gaza war is an Abrahamic war. That's why the media have never said no to the horrors of genocide there, because they're defending the Abrahamic slaughter. Why do the Abrahamic religions love to slaughter people? Because it creates Christian fundamentalists, Jewish fundamentalists, Muslim fundamentalists, and they'll feel justified to keep repeating the hell which his history has been built on. The history. Pardon?
Without Jesus Christ, you go to hell. Jesus is the only way to everlasting life. So that's not made up.
Religion is made up by man to justify the horror, because this man here will commit any crime, say any bullshit, as long as he gets to heaven. That's what he's here for. He'll say any lie, turn a blind eye to any genocide, commit any rape, because all he wants to do is get to heaven. That's why heaven was designed by religion, because all the horror that you commit in the next life will be justified. All the horror in the next life will be rewarded by loads of virgins, loads of wealth. It's all the same thing. It's all the Abrahamic religions. You may think you're superior, you may think you're more special than the other Abrahamic religion, but in actual fact, you are just the same thing. You are just the same thing, believing in the same God, believing in the same rape, genocide and repression, and the hatred of people. The hatred of people. And as you hate people, you slaughter people. The Abrahamic religions were built to kill, murder.
What does Jesus
That's
say?
exactly.
Jesus said, do not overcome evil with evil. Love your neighbours.
And yet Christianity is the history of crusades.
That's not a follower of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you turn a blind eye to your own religion.
No, I do not.
Turn a blind eye.
Jesus says do not.
Oh, because
says,
those Christians are the wrong Christians. And yet those Christians they're talking about are the very Christians that own your churches, own your religious leaders, bishops,
Jesus Christ created the
priests.
church. There's
no
Vatican in the Bible.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. These genocide slave lovers are the people that own your religion, not you, not Jesus, not anyone apart from the people that make all the money. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, the Abrahamic religions are the biggest business, the biggest, most profitable business on the planet. The Abrahamic religions are a business. And they're also, listen to this, you'll love this, while they're committing repression, rape and genocide.
That's not a fight.
They're all doing
Christ.
it
They're not fighting
tax-free.
Jesus Christ.
You're all doing it tax-free. You're committing rape and genocide and repression, and you're doing it tax-free.
The devil's a liar.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter. What matters is who owns your your Abrahamic religions, because they decide the horrors that you will commit. They'll decide that genocide, like in Gaza, is absolutely fine, because it's an Abrahamic genocide, killing the poor, the people of the wrong religion. My name is Dust. What? Ask me a question. So, what is the Abrahamic religion? It's nothing more than a business, and they sell the idea of heaven, so therefore people like him will commit any crime on this planet so they can crawl their way into heaven. That's what the Abrahamic religions, and while you're crawling your way into heaven, they steal all your money. They justify the rape and horror that you do in the name of the God that they made up. Yes, your religions are made up. They are made up not to worship God. They're not made up to worship God. Not made to worship human beings. Not made up to worship God, but to hate people that follow God. That's what the Abrahamic religions do. The perverted irony of people like this in front of me is they hate people that believe in God.
You're loud, but you're not right.
But they just say, oh, you believe in the wrong God. Therefore, I get to mock you and hate you because you believe in the wrong God. The followers of the Abrahamic religion hate religious people more than anybody else on the planet. Who hates religious people? The Abrahamic people do. The Christians hate religious people because you're following the wrong religion. The perverted nature of your thoughts are disgusting and gross. Question. Good question. Thank you. I believe that the good that we can do, we should do. But we are not allowed to stop wars. We're not allowed to stop poverty. We're not allowed to stop rape. Why we're not allowed to stop these? Because you can't sell heaven if you don't make hell on earth. If you don't make hell on earth, how on earth can you sell heaven? And that means, how are these bishops going to get rich? How are these Abrahamic religious people going to get so rich so easily if you don't make hell on earth? Not murdering people. You know that's not good, so let's not debate the bleeding obvious. Let's not debate the obvious. Let's debate what is not obvious. And it's not obvious that the Abrahamic religions are a business. And they're in the business of making money. And they sell heaven. They sell heaven to people like this. Pardon? No, why is stealing bad? Yeah, I'm not going to debate ridiculous statements like that. But I will, because it's obvious. Well, give me your wallet. No, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal it off you. I'm going to steal it off you. And I think you'll discover why stealing is bad very quickly. So let's not ask stupid questions, but let us ask profound questions. The Gaza war, why does it happen? Oil.
So not religion?
No, it happens under the Abrahamic religion, who've always justified genocide, the repression of people the wrong colour, the wrong religion.
What Jesus Christ stood for.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Jesus stood for. What matters is what you do and horrors you commit under your religion.
No, it's not under religion. Oh, that's not under
Horrible.
religion.
Stole, murdered. Yes. But he doesn't. I don't justify his actions.
Jesus Christ justified those actions.
I justify the actions of the human rights courts, the international courts of justice, reason, and also evidence. And with this reason and evidence, we look to mass murderers. Doesn't matter what philosophy you murder in. Doesn't matter what religion you wank off to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which religions you wank off to and justify your horror in. What matters is how you committing a crime, and therefore you should be punished. Murder, genocide, stealing, rape. These are crimes and human rights, the violation of human rights. And underneath that, why do you think the Abrahamic religion despise human rights? Pardon? Why do you think the Abrahamic religions despise human rights? Yes, they utterly despise it. Pardon? Yeah, you're just the same, mate. I've got some terrible news for you. You're the same as this man here. Exactly the same. There is no difference between you, apart from the differences you think you are. But you've got the same religious leaders, the same wealth. Who do you think makes the Muslim countries rich? Who do you think makes the Muslim countries rich? Who? Who do you think makes them rich? The Christians in America funnel trillions of pounds to Saudi Arabia for the oil. You feed the Muslims. You do that. You feed the Muslim empire, sorry. And with this money, do they make the Muslims richer? Do they make the Muslim people richer? The Jewish people richer? The Christian people richer? No, they repress and murder their own people so they can stay in the positions of power.
You're wrong. We're talking about
The Christians, Muslims and Jewish people, they have no choice. You were born into the religion and told your religion was superior. They were told that your religions are the greatest.
So for those of you who are watching, I've got to change a battery again. This new equipment runs out of batteries quick. So the live stream is going to go off only for a few seconds. So the live stream is going to go off for a few seconds as I change a battery.
Is an Abrahamic war. That's why the Christians give money for the weapons to kill in the Gaza. Because the and that's why those same Christians give money to Saudi Arabia, weapons to Saudi Arabia to kill en masse. Because your Abrahamic leadership was repression and genocide and hate. That is why your Abrahamic religions were built to do and formulate the justification.
So non-Abrahamic religions that do violence and everything else, they're just suffering from the same problem, even though it's a different...
I'm just focusing on the Abrahamic today. But my point is, it doesn't matter which God you justify your rape and murder in, or philosophy you justify your rape and murdering. It's still a genocide and it's still a rape, and you should go to prison, not be hung like StreetMic says you should be hung for. No, you shouldn't be hung. You should go to prison for committing rape and genocide.
So you tell me atheists don't commit crime?
I just said any philosophy you justify your genocide and raping, you still go to prison. Any philosophy.
Would you give someone a life sentence in prison?
Yes.
Is that not worse than being put to death?
No. Because there's redemption in prison.
What if there's not? What if they're not?
That's the opportunity down to the person in prison. Yeah, you get punished for a crime, mate. That's rule number one. What you don't do is let genocide murderers keep on committing genocide murderers and then give them loads of money for murdering and committing genocide. That's what happens under the Abrahamic law, which is the world we live in today, and always lived under the Abrahamic. Oh, well done. There's no justice. So why are you here today? Why are you bothering speaking? Why are you bothering breathing if there's no justice? The Abrahamic religions are fundamentally, but why do you think they hate human rights? Because they can't commit their favourite business, which is the business of genocide and selling weight and division amongst you Abrahamic religions. Because we live in the world of Abraham religions. The last 2,500 years has been the world of Abrahamic religions. Where do they get their money from? China. Where? The West, which is Abrahamic. So you've answered my question for me. China gets its money from Apple, from capitalist businesses in America, Christian country. Capitalism is Christian. And where does India get its money from? The West. Because the West is built by the Abrahamic religions to justify rape, murder and genocide. And guess what? All this murder, all this rape is done tax-free. Tax-free. They stand in front of you saying, oh yeah, we're justifying you hating Jewish, you hating Muslims, you hating Christians, while doing all tax-free and then selling you weapons to kill each other. Selling you weapons. And who owns the weapon companies? Who own the companies? Christian fundamentalists in America. They own the... Fucking Google it. Get off your ass. Google the names of these people that own weapons companies. And they are Christian fundamentalists. It doesn't matter if they're lost or not. They're the people that buy and own your religion. They're the people that decide who you hate. They're the people that decide how you will pray, when you will pray, and who you'll give your money to. They decide that, not you. You don't choose your religious leaders. They choose your religious leaders. You just stand around in your delusions that somehow that all this happens magically. It doesn't happen magically. It happens because men of great, disgusting wealth who built on genocide, pollution, environmental destruction, of rape, use this money to buy your religious leaders, own your religious leaders, and then they tell you to keep polluting, keep committing rape, keep committing murder in Gaza. That is what your religions were built to do.
Can we have a couple of minutes remembering the genocide in Rwanda? I think it's 25 years.
The genocide, Rwanda. Sorry.
There were Christians in connivance.
Yes.
Christians.
Catholic bishops were arrested under the human rights law for committing genocide in that country as well. Genocide is an Abrahamic business model to make and profit from committing that. Because once you cleanse an area of one religion, you install your own religion, and all those people give you all the money. Oh, that's Rwanda. Which is exactly what happened with Hitler. This is exactly what's happening in Gaza and Rwanda. For some reason I can't say that word. Rwanda, thank you. What?
Rwanda.
Yeah. Some words I can't say. But the point is, Abrahamic religions were not built to worship God. They were built to justify you murdering and raping your way across this world under the name of God. Because guess what? It is horrible to murder and rape, but if you do it in the name of God, somehow it now becomes holy. Somehow stealing someone's home, someone's land, someone's religion, suddenly now it becomes holy. That's how the Abrahamic religions were built. StreetMic, have you become a better man since I last spoke to you? Or are you still the same man?
Do you know something? Yeah, I will answer that question. I'm the same man, but Derek and many people have said You need hoovering up. The dust should be hoovered up.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
I'll say, no matter how hard you hoover, no matter how hard you suck, the dust will always be here.
Derek, I hope you heard that, so that it doesn't matter how hard you hoovered up or how hard you suck. That sounds rude. The dust.
It's only because you've got a perverted mind.
The dust will always be here. But all I can say, Dust, is that I'm finishing now.
Thank you very
I always
much for your
finish
time.
at 5 o'clock. I don't do black man time. When I say I start at 1, I start at 1. When I say I finish at 5.
Can I have 2 minutes of advice from you?
Huh?
2 minutes of advice.
Yeah, but I have to leave at 5. So let me point the camera that way, and I'll take the microphone off.
No, it's not. It's technical advice.
And the microphone's gone.
Do you recommend?
Nice to catch up sometime, get to know each other. Yeah, I know. On Zoom or something. Yeah, can I take your number?
I don't use them no more. I've got no, but it's a thing which, and I don't give them away either. It's a thing. Or sell them. Or sell them because, yeah. I always go back. But you know, I keep things and you can see, and sometimes I go just use them.
It's not happening. You've got cameras getting to be used. I can't even afford one.
No, but go on eBay.
Well, if you change your mind or feeling something in your head, arrange it to me. Otherwise, telling me about things that I can't.
When you say this one goes down to 1.6, so let's see what you do. But it's just, just messing around. Maybe because earlier on this cut off, I was so focused on this, I didn't see the battery has come out. So it disconnects after 3 hours. After 3 hours, it wasn't plugged in. There's no plug. I just plugged it in a minute. I noticed that was something I was thinking.
Did you put the video when you speak?
I don't put videos up. I'm always live. So did I take it down? Section. I get banned No, but the cabins, that's how I started. We said 60, I started 70. But, oh, do you know something? Are you used to cameras? A lot of people that all they know is the phone. They don't know about Asia, ISO, speeds.
I just need to get the cheapest, best camera I can get.
And what are you going to use? Is that something?
Yeah, I've done a lot. It's taking the piss. If you ever one of those cameras that you have sitting there doing nothing, if you hired out or sold one day, and give me a shout.
Alright then, great. Thank you very much. I'm shutting down there because it's now coming to that time. Got 57 now.
Thank you very much for your advice
no
and time.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, we are now coming to an end of this live stream, as it's now 5 p.m. As you know, I don't do black man time. When I say I finish on time, I finish on time. So hopefully, God willing, we should be back next week at 1 till 5 p.m. So we're now, thanks a lot, man, yeah?
Thank you, cheers, mate.
Yeah, so we're now shutting down, and I've been using new equipment today, and I've been testing out. Even the frame isn't quite the same on YouTube. Doesn't matter. What is important is that I can come here and do this, test out new things. If it doesn't work, try something different. But for me, Speaker's Corner and doing street stuff is a testing ground. So all I can say for you who are watching, thank you very much. I'm here 1 till 5 p.m. It's going to be 5 p.m. in about 2 minutes. We cut out earlier on, I'll explain why. For my live streaming unit, the battery that lasts for 8 hours disconnected, and my live streaming unit cut out. So it must have been disconnected for a minimum of 3 hours, and I didn't notice. So that was why we cut out. But when I did notice, I just plugged it in and we were back on after 5 minutes or so. So we cut out earlier on. That was due to me not monitoring the battery, and it cut out. So all I can say is thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.